Hi students, in this video we are going to learn the basic concepts of Newton's second law. What is Newton's second law? What it explains? See, Newton's second law explains what happened to an object when a non-zero net force act on it. First of all, we should come to know an object is there. For example, say if you consider on this object several forces will act. The one of the force is weight of the body. W is equal to mg. This is the force. And another force is in the opposite direction, that is normal force. And the body is in the surface or in contact, so that is frictional force. And air is also applying the force on the object, so that is nothing but air force. See, many forces are acting on the body. If you add all these forces, means if we get the sum of the forces, this is weight of your body plus normal plus frictional force plus air force. If the sum of all these forces is equals to 0, then that is called net force is equals to 0. F net is equals to 0. If the total number of the forces that acting on the body equals to 0, this means F net is equals to 0. The body will be at rest. Means the body does not move. For example, if we consider a football which is on the ground, no force is acting on it. External force is not at all acting on it. But internally, weight of your body towards down, normal in the upward direction, frictional force and various type of forces act on the football. The sum of all these forces that acting on the football is called net force. If the total force, this means F net is equals to 0, the body is at rest, or the body is in equilibrium. The body will be in equilibrium. Right. If the net force is not equals to 0, the net force is not equals to 0. I applied certain amount of the force on this body. I applied certain amount of the force. You already know that pull or push acting on the body is called force. Then what happens? The body will come into the motion. What does it mean? On this gravitational force W, normal force N, and from this opposing force friction is also there. We know that W is equal to M and capital F is equal to small f. The capital F indicates the force what we applied and small f is the friction. But we applied a large quantity of the force. This means F net, total number of the forces that acting on the body is not equals to 0. Means the body will be in motion. If F net is equals to 0, the body will be at rest. F net is equals to 0, the body will be at rest. If F net is not equals to 0, the body will be in motion. From this, what we understood is, if your body want to be in motion, must and should on that some amount of the force must and should be applied. If a net force is applied on the body, then the body will come into motion. From this explanation, what we can understand is, the non-zero net force means F net is not equals to 0 is called non-zero net force. If the net force is equals to 0, it is called zero net force, and this is non-zero net force. If a non-zero net force act on your body, what happens? The body will come into motion. The non-zero net force disrupt the state of equilibrium of the body. If the net force is equals to 0, the body's state is rest. That only we are calling as equilibrium of the body. Finally, we can say that Newton's second law explains, if a non-zero net force act on your body, what happens? If a non-zero net force act on your body, the body will come into motion. If the net force act on your body is 0, the body will be in equilibrium. Let us discuss in a deep manner what happened to the body when a non-zero net force acts on it. See now, if a non-zero net force acts on the body, for example, here your body is there. On this, I applied certain amount of the force. For example, say the body may be a football, or the body may be a cycle, or the body may be something, whatever it may be, a bench or a chair, whatever it may be. If we apply certain amount of the force on the chair, or on the football, or on the bicycle, what happened? They will come into motion. This means F net is not equals to 0. This means certain amount of the force is applied on that. Then F net is not equals to 0. The body will be set into the motion. F net becomes 0. The body will come into the motion. If motion is there in the body, either it may be cycle, or either it may be the chair, or either it may be. If the motion is there, then automatically the body moves certain displacement. We already know that because of the applied force, the body moves certain distance. That is nothing but displacement. Here, we are applying the force. It is a vector quantity. Then automatically we are going to use the topic of displacement, because displacement is also a vector quantity. If you compare this displacement with respect to time, you have certain velocity. Rate of displacement is called velocity. So because of the non-zero net force acting on the body, it gains certain motion. Because of the motion, it has certain displacement. Because of the displacement, it has velocity. This velocity may be initial velocity u, or otherwise final velocity v. Because of the change of velocity, why? Because the body, first of all, which is at rest, slowly becomes a certain velocity. Means initial velocity, final velocity also occurs. Because of the initial and final velocities, we can get change in velocity also. Change in velocity is nothing but delta v, can be written as v minus u. So because of the velocity, we can get change in velocity also. Because of change in velocity, we can get certain acceleration. And there may be change in momentum of the body. We already know that delta P is equals to mv minus m2. The total net force acting on the body mainly calls for acceleration of the body. We know that acceleration of your body is represented by letter A. Once again we can understand why the acceleration is arising in the body because of the change of velocity. Why there is a change in velocity? Because of the displacement. Why there is a displacement? Because the body is in motion. Why the body will come into motion? That is the net force acting on the body. That will be which net force? Non-zero net force acting on a body. This means non-zero net force that act on your body is called for acceleration. Means if there is a non-zero net force is there on your body, automatically the body has certain acceleration. If the non-zero net force is more, acceleration is also more. If the non-zero net force is less, acceleration is also less.